Some call it a special, intimate, erotic bond, while most call it perverse, dehumanizing, and objectifying. How can an act containing a stockade be considered making love? And how can an act involving a straitjacket compare to a child's game? I'll answer these questions and more when I step out of the bedroom and into the dungeon as I tackle BDSM, leather whips and chains, oh my, on this edition of Torrid Intentions. We've all tried spicing up our private lives in one form or another, from costumes to role-playing to total sensory deprivation. Hello everybody, welcome to Torrid Intentions. I'm your host, Austin Fox. In 300 AD, the Kama Sutra boasts about erotic spankings, while European references can be found dating back to the 15th century. But despite these references, BDSM didn't truly flourish until the 18th century, when some European brothels began specializing in having dominant women dole out punishments to the willingly submissive men. In 1905, Sigmund Freud coined the word sadomasochism, implying that anyone who took pleasure or enjoyment from this practice to be neurotic. But 2 to 3 of adult Americans play with BDSM whether they realize it or not. 2 to 3%. That's almost 5 million people. And to give you an idea of just how big 5 million people truly is, the 2016 census placed Houston, Texas at number 4 in the nation of highest population with 2.3 million people. That's nearly 2 Houstons. So how can 2 Houstons be wrong? Can 5 million people be this perverse? To answer that question, you first have to get into the mindset of the individuals participating. And to do so, I thought it best to reference the child's game, Trust Me. The object of the game is for one person to fall backwards, hoping the other person will catch them and not let them fall, hurting themselves. This game has the 2 key elements of BDSM, and that's danger and trust. Danger being unaware if the person will support you and then literally hold your life in their hands. Well, maybe not life, but certainly an injury or two. But when both parties trust one another completely, 100% and fully let go, the overall experience can be an orgasm so intense and drawn out that the exhilarating effect would almost be impossible to duplicate. BDSM can even go past the physical and into everyday language in phrases I'm sure everybody has said or heard at least once in their life. When nations battle each other or when a country invades another, the end goal is to dominate the other. And capitalists dine on the phrase, dog eat dog world. And in sports, players receive huge salaries to humiliate each other. Now I know by now you're saying that you could never see yourself living the lifestyle. Or maybe you simply don't believe that pain and pleasure can exist in the same world. But they can, and they do. As a matter of fact, most people do and don't even know it. Going back to sports. In football, when a pass is thrown and caught and a touchdown is scored, you will notice the players give each other the congratulatory pat on the ass or slap on the helmet. And despite the abuse the players endure, the winning team celebrates the gratification from the pain they just went through to deserve that win. It is so unfortunate that the media depicts BDSM in such a gross manner. The so-called facts that are shown to the public are so twisted that it does leave a perverse image on the average person's mind. The very idea or thought of a woman down on all fours pretending to be a dog on a leash being held by a man in a leather mask will cite such outrage by saying the woman is being forced to depict a dog, and the man in the mask is an asshole. Come on, folks, this isn't the 1800s. Lincoln abolished slavery, remember? Everything surrounding BDSM is consensual. Nothing is ever done without both parties coming to an agreement and establishing rules to ensure the safety of the other. Some would argue that BDSM is better than regular vanilla sex because of one simple thing that most couples are afraid to do or simply just don't do at all, and that's communicate. Communication, or lack thereof, is the main reason why most women never experience the elusive orgasm and why most men walk around thinking they're the shit when in reality they are the only person who got off in that 30 seconds. You see, before any tying down or restraints are put on, the dom has to make sure that the sub knows what they're about to do and comprehend every facet from beginning to end. Then a safe word is established. That is to let the dom know that the scene has gone too intense for the sub and they've had enough. It stops. No one is hurt. Again, communication is the key. If you can get past your own phobias and just go a little bit out of your comfort zone, you will see that your old sex just does not come close to this newly found intimacy. Now, I will be a responsible adult and say, before trying this, do a little studying and learn what it is that piques your interest. Because BDSM goes way beyond just dom and sub. There's owner and slave, master and pet, just to name a few. Read a book or go online and just search BDSM for beginners. And if you are one of the lucky few that live in a city that has a BDSM club, go to it! Grab a cocktail and a whip and pull up a seat. Just don't be surprised if that seat talks back to you. Or if that's not your cup of tea, then take a class. And yes, there are actual classes for this. Now, when I decided to do this topic, I was not expecting it to be so vast with material. So much so that I will have to continue this discussion next week and open up one of the many chapters to this unique world of pain and pleasure. So, I'll leave you with this last thought. Henry Kissinger once said that power is the ultimate aphrodisiac. So, whatever your intentions, just make sure they're toward intentions. Thank you, everybody.